We expect them to publish a book to collect all kinds of the good effect. So now the overseas family returned to Taiwan. They are very, very welcome. Have you all seen the TV, the direct TV yesterday? They were all over on the TV. And let's take a look at the video. Weicheng is our representative. And in 2020 of April, our Catholic nun, Sister Angela, came over to Taiwan. Sister Angela, she's 97 years old.
祝福从十方而至，为慈济布里斯本联络处及慈济大爱幼教中心剪彩启用。会所基地面积1200平方公尺。
The blessing coming from all over the world to celebrate the buildings reconstruction and the kindergartens were opening. The original reconstruction plan was referred to the design of Jin Siho. But Tzu Ji want to get into the society, so in Australia, the ashram has to fit in the surrounding environment. So we finally decided that the herringbone rooftop doesn't really fit in the surrounding environments, and then we really appreciate that the master's acceptance. The design version has been changed more than 10 times. We wanted to incorporate with Tzu Ji's humanistic and eco-friendly concept.
And I thought that was a very wise thing for her to say. Yes.
很感恩哦，他特别拨空了就回到那个台湾去参观台湾慈济的进食堂、台湾的医院。
I'm really appreciate that he spares time to visit Taiwan, to visit our Tzu Ji Jinsi Hall and Tzu Ji Hospital and our Tzu Ji airports. He's looking for the proper way that can fit in our local environments. The exterior is all Western style with lots of glass and balconies that fit in the Australian designing compass. And the interior is decorated with wood, and the herringbone design of the Buddha's skull shows the beauty of the East. And this is where Weicheng we connected in night, and at that grand opening days, and there's another video that I would like to share with you about the Dr. Lu Yixun. For the in the little town Tara, there was a nanny dentist service, but Taiwan's Dental International Medical Association starting the free clinic since 2007. And because of their love and the persistencies, the Queensland Dental Association affirms their contributions. In 2022, the Medical Contribution Award to Dr. Lu Yixun is the first time that Queensland Dental Association presents this to an outsider.
Easy decision to nominate her.
这20年来，除了在布里斯本，那还有雪梨、墨本，还有博斯，都有这个人医会的团队在当地。
In the past 20 years, in Brisbane, Sydney, in Melbourne, and Perth, we all had our international medical team at the local performing the free clinic service. And the recognition like today is to praise all the members in our teams. It's the medical team from Australia, our international teams. Let's welcome them to. So with this affinity, the overseas family can really come here to meet us. We really appreciate them. And everybody know that the young generation, they will come back to Taiwan to spend their Lunar New Year's years. And the relay of love for generations, they really actually pass on this master's preach into next generations. And for the young generation, they really need to have a role model to learn from. And Weicheng says, please don't say that, because at Singapore and Malaysia, there are lots of young volunteers too, and they also accompany them, and they were always accompanied with love. If you look at me, that I might be a little old, but if I stand in between them, I feel very young, very energized. At that time when I visit Australia, they were all very hardworking persons. So like Louis Xin, she has been doing Tzu Chi for 23 years. Since she was very young, she started to perform all the service, all the Tzu Chi's volunteer work, and was affirmed from the local person, and to award this medical contributions to her. And it's not. And let's welcome the Brisbane talented persons, our talented volunteers. And now we're going to relay the two of them to share their presentation. A venerable master and all with all families. Morning. For the relay of love for generations. This is the first time that I write to Kaohsiung, Jinsiho, and I heard about the Dr. Meisha. I feel very impressed. I think we all, because of this love that we give us, can keep us here. And because our parents' love and the senior volunteers' love, that bring us all together to Tzu Chi. Under this environment, I still remember when I first joined Tzu Chi, the collegiate volunteers. At that time, we all Zheng Shufen, Sister Zheng Shufen, always invite us for the tea party, invite us for dinners, accompany us with loves along the way. And lots of we still volunteer with their service. Finished after the activities in the service, they will always cook the meals for us, like a pumpkin rice or bean curd, dragon curds, cheesecake. We always have lots of snacks to enjoy it after we did our jobs. And then finally, you cannot even find it outside. They always keep feeding us and also accompany us. And after we graduated, we're also doing the same thing to accompany the young generations. We also want to pass on this love and to bring in more volunteers into our groups. And our teaching students, like twice a year, during the exam periods, we have a lot of students from overseas. They might not have their parents accompany them, and they probably just eat the cup noodle to spend the whole week, or just eat snack. They don't really have time for their main course, main meals. So we prepared this box lunch that can deliver to them, and every day we have different kinds of ingredients. And with this kind of love, that we can take care of their body, and hopefully they can also join us as volunteers. So our home, the first time we design our home, we decided to make it Qing's home. They can come over here to celebrate a birthday party or family reunions. So it's one time as the Qing asks, if we accumulate civil service, can we find a key card to your house that we can come in anytime we want? So they really like to come over to our families. And the next, I'm gonna let the Weicheng, Father Weicheng, to share with us. And good morning, everyone. I'm so appreciate that in 1999, the father and sister Zheng Shufen, she made her vow to establish a school, humanities school. At that time, we really don't know what kind of benefits for the humanities school can do to our missions. But this is actually the key point, because at the beginning we have 80 students, but like this year we already have 350 students every year attending our schools. So we are sowing the seeds of kindness, so there will be more get closer to the Ciji's junior volunteers.
可是到2000年之后啊，这个移民的人数就一直在减少。
At that time, we find the difference in generations, because in the early years, a lot of immigrants will come from Taiwan to Australia. And nowadays, more and more immigrants, first generation immigrants, they move back to Taiwan. So if we only rely on the students from overseas, all the Ciji will be like duckweeds that we won't have enough persons. So we made our decision that we promote the companionship program for the Ciji juniors. And at the beginning, we really have no idea what we are going to do. At first time, when we performed the Ciji camping, and there was a lot of mess because nobody knows what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to arrange the activity for those junior kids. And in 2001, we have another camp, and it was led by the sister Wang Zhixing. At that time, myself wasn't there, but later on, I heard lots of stories relating to face lots of challenges in order to achieve this heritage jobs. So since 2007 till now, it's been 15 years. The Ciji camping, it's been 15 years, and this is the key point for in Brisbane. And like half the Ciji were starting from the Ciji juniors until now, and they will be the mentors of the Ciji. So we can pass on this generations to generations. And follow up, I'm going to let Yixun, Sister Yixun, to share with us. Venerable Master and Master from both. Good morning. My name is Yixun from Australia. I really appreciate that. I grew up in a Ciji's families because my mom, Shufen, and Qiming, because the whole families or joined Ciji's volunteer work. So since high school, I also joined Ciji juniors volunteers. I have all the companions from the seniors volunteers, and And with lots of senior volunteer, they give us a reassurance that let go their hands to let us can shoulder the responsibilities. So, like starting from the 20 years ago, the inland free cleaning, the disaster relief, the home visiting, we even took the small aircrafts, fly over to small towns that was far away from the Brisbane. So for the all free cleaning was organized by one of our Tzu students and the other senior students to in charge of this inland free clinic. And myself in Brisbane, I in charge of the charity departments when I was in college. And another senior volunteer should lead me. I'm very interested in interacting with people. So the other sister let me starting my home visitings. And sister also let me visit these recipients twice a month. So I incur this home visits responsibilities and also the charity. And since 2011, the flooding, also last year in 2022, another floodings. At that time, we also learned how the senior volunteers treat us to give us lots of reassurance, and so we can let go our hand and let the young generation, let the juniors to take over the responsibility to contact with the governments or to do a home visit. They were all undertaken by our young junior volunteers. And with the group like this, we want, like the city government in Brisbane, they really want to sign another contract with us to cooperate with us because of the Qiming's their outstanding performance. And twice a month on our food distributions, lots of them they were refugees because of their parents doesn't receive the good education. Usually they don't, their study is not very well, so the volunteers try to accompany them and also educate them and accompany the free cleaning. And these two are also starting from Suzheng. The next will be Guogong, Fasted Father Guogong. I'm the husband of Yixun. I'm so grateful to have my in-law and my family that we can join Tzuji's families. As you see, the Brisbane's branch was established, and it was in 6 years, starting from the first thoughts that until now, and teach. The master also says the hardware actually is easy, but the software is very difficult. Like in the new branch, we have a Jinsi bookstore and the kindergarten. We also need somebody to take responsibility of this. So we have Wang Yan and Wei Lian, assisted Wang Yan, Wei Yan. They can take responsibility for this. So let's introduce to them. Sister Huilian, herself is from Malaysia, and she doesn't drink coffee at all. But every time when she drink coffee, she feel tachycardias. So, but in a bookstore, the coffee is the main elements in the bookstores. And it's not just any regular coffee beans. We are very detailed to pick the good coffee beans. And she will try this. She will try every single kinds of the bean that even that will cause her discomfort, but she still personally try all different flavors of coffees. And the other sister herself is in the medical backgrounds, and she also spent lots of time.
之后还有很多需要做的事，那真的是我们这边可以做的，就只是做陪伴。我还记得，一开始要拿这个，一开始这个
And I still have a lot to share with you. And what we can do now is to accompany them. And at that time, the director, we need to have a interview and don't know where to start it. And I'm not really familiar with that, but I just accompany her to the interview. And it is even nervous. I'm so more nervous than she does. And if the hardware, if the building reconstructed, and hopefully we can start the construction program next year. And the president has a strong backups. Doesn't matter whether it's our senior volunteer or the Qimings. If you have ever worked outside, you will see, and lots of times when you are making a promise, you will always know that they were always standing behind you to support you. Despite of the space or the equipments, the volunteers always promise and give us all the supply that we need. And I'm going to invite my in-law to share their presentation.
大家好，很感恩哦。昨天上人的开示哦，我稍微描述一下因缘为什么会那么奇妙哦，因为。
Hello everyone. I'm so appreciate that yesterday from the master's preachings, the affinity is so miracles because the originally director is not me. It was assigned to someone else, but because the affinities, then in just an overseas phone call, I'm in Taiwan and I just received a phone call, but without thinking, I had to drop everything. And also my kids are coming back to Taiwan, but I'm leaving for Australia. I don't have any experience, any arrangement, but all I have is the courage. So I went all the way by myself to Brisbane to shoulder these responsibilities. And for our so all the senior volunteers at local, they accompany the Qimings and give them lots of space to grow up. And they were very mindful. And with the master's preachings, they really bear that in mind. We thank them, the Qimings. Thank you for all the Qing that can make the Qing's mission promoted very smoothly, and we can have a very localized and very beautiful new branch. the families from all over the world. Hello. Like yesterday, Master says, love. Master used love and she gave us a blessing about Brisbane. He said at the last to make an inventory of your life. When I watched that videos, did I ever achieve that inventory of life? Did I do that? I think I did. I'm 70 years old. And I am in the old generation now. And look back to my past, because I was in Australia and I can achieve this achievements, can reach this achievement. The first time I make the Christmas trees, the second of all, our Qiming, even the middle age, they say, Brother Su, they want to perform the free clinic. But at that time, there are no movable medical chairs, and with 4 dentists, but no movable medical chairs. And now we have more than 100 dentists and medical staff there in our associations. And the educations, at first, the master said, Shufen, you have to make their education, promote the education. And only because of her words that we have 80 students from the beginning in our humanities schools, and now we have more than 300 students every year to attend the school. And the third, we pass on the master's preaching generation to generations, and we have 3 generations living together under the same roof. And there were so many families like us in Brisbane, not only the Tzu family, but lots of our Tzu volunteers, they really do it and did it to make the whole family join Tzu's volunteer work. And when brother shared with us that he is like a rescue squad. He doesn't really have any planning. But what I am is I will plan for whatever master wanted to do. So right now we are working at Gangshan. We're starting from ground zero. We cannot find any sufficient manpowers. We don't have environmental stations. Our affinity with Gangshan is not much because most of the time we stay in Australia. We don't really know much people around Gangshan. They are not familiar with us. But because of his courage, I will do whatever the master told me to do. So for all sisters and brothers, my sharing is finished. So let's do whatever the master wants us to do. The relay of love for generation to generation. Relay of love passed on generation to generations. They gave us the best role, best samples. This is Weicheng's mom. They're all very young, but they're very talented. I have been to their house. It's a very warm place. I mean, Weicheng's family is like a Qing's family, and it was very well decorated. And with such a beautiful home, do you prefer to stay home most of the time with your wife? Yes, of course. And we also have a chance to introduce the sisters and also her son and the in-laws. Because of them, they lead all our mid-age generations and accompany our 慈济 juniors to grow together. And the Zixin and Roxin, they already returned to Taiwan. Even they are very busy, but they has to be here at this time. I just want to we'd like to be with you because you have positive energy. We thank you again for being here. Now let's go back to the things. We can see the Brisbane's reasons, the generation to generation, see the young generation that can take over the 慈济